gotta find a peace of mind. It's incredible. I say it's impossible. Oh, we are live. Let's make sure we live. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, welcome to another day of getting to self-actualization, the series. And if my memory serves me right, I believe we are on day 25, which means that we only have a few more days to go, right? Oh, so but I got to go back and count because y'all know, right? I wasn't really necessarily looking at the number count. I was looking at what we were doing and the progress we were made. And the beautiful thing about this series is that you do not have to watch all of the episodes in any chronological order, any specification. You don't have to watch this, continue on to the other. You can take all of the 28 episodes once this series is completed on this upcoming Friday. You can be able to watch all the episodes in any order you would like. Trust me, you will get something out of all of them. You can probably watch all episodes in about a couple of hours, really. Because I think the longest episode is maybe 30 minutes. Everything else ranges between 15 and 20 minutes. But trust me, you will feel as if you were in a counseling session with me because you will take something from it. Okay. So, speaking of me, if this is your first time here, welcome to my part of the internet world. This is Hood Parenting on YouTube, and I am your host, Yashika Foster, a self actualization and life strategist. And I am here and I am wrapping up this series of getting to self actualization. And for all you newcomers out there, hello and welcome. Thanks to my recent interview on the podcast YouTube channel, Soft White Underbelly, here on YouTube. My channel is growing, and I want to take the time out to say thank you. I appreciate you. And I mean, when I tell you that this has been a lot, this has been a lot, but I am not going to go into it right now because I don't want to get emotional. I don't want to get any of those things. But hello and welcome to all of my subscribers, especially my new subscribers who have recently found me. I thank you. So today, on day 25 of getting to self-actualization, we are talking about peace. Okay, we are talking about peace. If it costs you your peace, then it is too damn expensive. Okay, let me say that again. If it costs you your peace, then it is too damn expensive. I'm talking about anything that you do, right? Anything that you do. And when I think about this, right, when I thought about this, because I am what you call clear audience, right? I hear music. I hear music in my head all the time, and I used to think that it was because I'm from Detroit, right? And so I grew up with Motown. I grew up with my grandmother singing the blues and playing the blues. I mean, it's down home blues, down home blues. All she wanted to hear was some down home blues all night long. Listen, that's a shout out to my grandmama, okay? But anyway, listen, I could feel her in this moment. But I thought that my clear audience was from me being around music all the time. But now as an adult, I realize that it's more than that. I'm like that I believe his name was Bumblebee. I believe his name was Bumblebee. I cannot remember. But I remember when I first saw the movie Transformers, and that one particular Transformer, he would speak through music. And it was like I so related to him. I can't remember if his name was Bumblebee. Somebody tell me what his name was in the comments. Okay, was it Bumblebee that spoke through music because he did not have a voice, so he had to play songs to transmit what he was trying to say? That is so me. Okay. So when I think about if it costs you your peace is too damn expensive, I think about Lauryn Hill, gotta find peace of mind, right? It's like you if you listen to the words of that song, it's like it's not impossible, right? She tells you that it's not impossible. And for you people out there that know Lauryn Hill, Miss Education of Lauryn Hill, Go out and get the album. That album is, listen, is timeless. It will never get old. You can listen to it and listen to it as if it's the first time. Okay. But that song right there, I think about how she talks about, if you listen to it, I don't think it was on there. I think that song came after. But we recognize Lauryn Hill from that song. But then there was a song that came, Gotta Find Peace of Mind. And she did it a cappella in a studio, and I listened to it on YouTube. And I tell you, that song really resonates and just reminds you that if you don't get that peace, if you don't get there, then it can cost you everything, right? Right. Peace is not just about being quiet, it's about making sure that you have mental clarity. If you don't have mental clarity about what it is that you're doing, it's almost like you're walking around life like this. You ever, all I could think about is when we think about the images of things that didn't happen and there's a lot of smoke, right? Well, I could think about times where I was in the desert and we would have dust storms and you couldn't see your hand in front of you because it was so dusty. It was so like sand was everywhere. Like, I mean, your eyelashes, your eye, your mouth, sand is everywhere. Okay. So at those moments, you couldn't see anything. And that's how peace is. That's how not having peace is to your world. It stops you from being able to see anything ahead of you, even what's standing in front of you, because it's chaotic. You're blinded. It's like, how can you find peace if everything is in chaos, right? Not only that, but emotional safety. If you don't have peace, then you can't have emotional safety because you don't feel free, you don't feel safe to say the things that you need to say, right? Because in order for us to be at peace, we have to get some things off our heart, we have to get some things off our chest, we have to be able to say things that make us happy, things that make us reflect, things that we accept, things that you say, well, you know what, I received those things. Whatever it is you need to be able to say, you have to have peace in your life to be able to be comfortable enough, be safe enough, be emotional safe enough to be able to share those things. Peace is about energetic alignment. Energetic alignment, your energy, what you do moving forward, what you do to get to the goal. Your energy is aligned because you have to be energetically aligned. If you're all over the place, it's almost like, excuse me, it reminds me of that hamster on a wheel. If you're always spinning and you're not really going, because the hamster don't know that the wheel is just spinning. He think that if he keep running, he's gonna eventually get to somewhere. He doesn't understand it. I don't think a hamster know. I think that a hamster really believes, like, I don't think that they know that wheel is stops, because if you put a hamster down on the floor and let it run around your house, it's going to keep walking just like any other animal. So I don't believe that it has problem solving skills in that way, that understand. I don't think they're doing it for exercise. Like when we get on the treadmill as humans, we know that the treadmill ain't going nowhere. We know that little ramp that we're on, or that little mat that we're on, that's as far as our distance is. That's it. But we can run forever on a treadmill, but we're only going to cover this much ground. I don't think a hamster knows that, right? So your energy has to be aligned. If your energy is not aligned, then it's like you're on that wheel just spinning, going nowhere. Going nowhere because you're not aligned. You're not using your energy for the good. You're not putting energy in the places that you need to fuel, right? And then, of course, the ability to breathe in your own space without tension or performance. Okay, that's what peace is. It's not just about being quiet, but the ability to breathe in your own space without tension or performance. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to say, you know what, I have to do this to get along. I have to pretend. What is it? Get along to get along, something like that. And guess what? Self actualization is impossible in chaos. Because, like I said, if you don't have peace, you have chaos, you have all this smoke in front of you, you have all this dust in front of you. You cannot be self actualized if you're still in chaos. And if you have chaos in your life, then you don't have peace. And peace is part of, like, peace is like one of the biggest components of being self actualized. You have to be able to have peace no matter what environment you are in. You have to be able to know when to bring yourself down, know when to exit, know when to get away, know when to feed into yourself, know when to pour into yourself. Right? That's fine. And when you have that peace within, no matter what's going on, you can disconnect, you can disassociate, you can say, you know what, let me go over here and sit down for just a minute. Let me go over here and sit down just a minute. Before I did this live, before I came out here for this, I have this ritual where I get up in the morning, because remember, this live is done right before I go to the gym. So I have like this ritual. Now, granted, I probably waste about 2.5, 3 hours in the morning time, because it's literally about me. And when I say waste, in other words, I could probably get a whole bunch of things done. I could probably, listen, conquer the world in them 3 hours, right? The army trained me that way. But I choose those 3 hours, or that time that I'm up 2.5, whatever hours it is before I do this live, to literally sit in the moments. And so, yes, am I doing things? I might get dressed, right? Because I'm going to the gym afterwards. I might, make sure that that I'll tidy up or whatever, make sure my bedroom is straightened up, whatever I did done that morning, whatever I do. But in the same time, I could probably get everything done within 20 to 30 minutes when I get up. I'm talking about everything. However, I spend a lot of time just sitting. And right before I came out here, my last sit, I went outside about 20 minutes prior, sat on my front porch and just listened. Because at this point, everything is still quiet. Although people are up leaving for work, the street is still quiet. My street is quiet anyway, but you definitely can hear the birds still singing. You can hear everything outside. You can hear the things you need to hear. You can hear your thoughts. I didn't have my phone. I didn't have my iPad. I didn't have anything. So I'm just sitting there. And I recognize that in that moment, this is peace. And I know I have peace all the time, but it was like I literally acknowledge in that moment, this is what peace looks like. There are people in the world that wish that they can have those moments like that. Okay, so when you do have those moments, or when you are blessed enough to have those moments, you have to acknowledge it. You have to give to it to acknowledge it, because it's something that a lot of people don't have. A lot of people live in chaos. And so, because of it, they're not able to get to that self actualization, and they're trying to get there, and they will get there. But everything takes time. And so, when chaos is in your life, get rid of it, because in order to be self actualized, you have to get rid of it, because it's impossible to get there with it. So ask yourself, where is your peace currently being compromised? Ask yourself that. Where is your peace currently being compromised? What situation or relationship makes you feel uneasy, anxious, or depleted? What part of you thinks you have to tolerate it? And that's the part that a lot of people, I feel, miss, is that you feel that you have to tolerate certain things in order to, well, you know what, maybe if I subdue this, or maybe if I endure this for a long time, then joy comes in the morning. How many mornings we got? How many mornings we got? How many mornings we got? How many mornings? How many mornings you know for sure you got? Okay. The cost of chaos. Let's call it out. That draining job, that toxic relationship, that friendship that's always one sided. When peace becomes a luxury, you're living in survival mode. That's what that is. So anytime you have to say, well, you know what? I got to go out of town or on vacation, or I got to go do something crazy just to get a peace of mind. Gotta find a peace of mind. Like Lauren Hill say, you got to find a peace of mind, right? You have to go away for that. Listen, some things is you might need to think about. That job, that relationship. I know people who are in relationships, marriages, and from my perspective, it's more draining than it is gratifying, right? Now, I'm not saying that they need to leave that situation or anything, because I'm not here to say what a person should do with their life. However, I would advise them that to consider doing something different, because if you are in a relationship where you have a marriage and you're working on the same goals, right? I would think that between the two of you, everything should be a little bit better. At least I would think so, in terms of where you are in life, not draining. You should never been in any situation where when you're in it is draining. I remember I used to be when I was in the military, there would be times where there would be service members because military is predominantly a male organization. So most of those men were married, just like I was married. Okay, my husband was in the military as well, and it gave me an insight of the other side in a lot of ways. Now, I don't know if it was the same because both my ex-husband and I both were active duty military. However, I remember there would be men at work that literally did not want to go home because of the chaos, because of the whatever they thought was going on. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they wasn't doing, I'm sure they weren't doing their part. I'm sure they weren't. Right. So I'm sure there was more to the story. But at the same time, I just remember them saying about going home what it was like, because I would have conversations because I'll be like, why are y'all still here? And some of them would tell me honestly, ma'am, I don't want to go home. And so for me, I have a whole master's degree marriage and family counseling. I want to know why. Now I'm intrigued because why? Right. And then they would tell me. And a lot of it was chaos. A lot of it was things that they didn't want to do. A lot of it was they found comfort in being around, I guess, their peers as opposed to family. I don't know what it was, but what I do know is that it was in the midst of chaos. It was it. So in my mind, I would suggest that a person in a situation like that, you might want to consider doing other things in a relationship. Because if you are in a relationship and you don't want to go home, baby, you might need to do something different. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not the do something different. That's all. Do something different. Okay. But real talk, you don't owe anyone access to you if they can't respect your peace. I don't care who it is. It could be your mama, your daddy, your spouse, your children, anything, anybody. If they cannot respect your peace, you don't owe them access to you at all. Okay, I used to be a person that was 10 toes down when it came to anything. Meaning that we about to fight about something. I'm here for it. Let's go. Because I'm listen, if I got a point to prove, I'm about it because I was in survival mode for a lot of my life. So for me, I feel like I'm right, you right, we whatever. So we gonna go about it. So I'm about fight. I was about fighting. Now I will flight in a minute. Okay. In other words, if you are about to come up in here and you jacking up my peace, whether it's a friend or a companion or a parent, I'm out. I will listen. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm going home. I'm going home to my confinement because I'm not about to listen. If I'm here in your space or if I'm causing you any discomfort, I don't want to do that for you. So instead of you getting all your panties in a bunch or whatever, or you going in, I have to tell my mama that sometimes, Mama, I'm out. I'm out, mama. I'm out. I came to visit you and I was going to stay this amount of time, but girl, I can't stay. I'm out. Because why? I don't need you like this. Because if it got to be like this and I came to visit, then it's not a visit anymore. It's chaotic. I don't need chaos in my life. I didn't come to bring you chaos. You don't need to bring me chaos. Why are you fussing at me about a damn towel? Okay? I'm out. So what I'm saying to you, for me, if it's draining or something like that, I don't allow people like that access to me because I understand that in order to be here now, am I saying situations don't come up? Of course they come up. Sometimes you do have to go at it. You got to prove a point, but for the most part, something consistent in my life that's bringing me chaos, whether it's a situation, a relationship, a friendship, whatever, I am not about to deal with it because why? I don't have that kind of time. And it's not that I have anything to do that's important in terms of that like I got worries. No, it's just that for me to be in the chaos like this, I already know it's not just going to be this moment. It's going to last, even though this situation may only be for this time, meaning it might play out. I already know that that chaotic situation is going to linger on my spirit. It's going to linger in my head. It's going to linger on my thought process. I'm probably going to circle back because I always got some stuff I need to say. I always got some stuff that I forgot to say. Okay. So I'm going to circle back to it. Okay. So you see where I'm going with this? So already it's messing up my peace. It's causing me more than what it needs to. And so instead of me going through all that, I'm just going to move myself from it. If I can't say what I got to say and we can't do it in a respectful way, or it's not chaotic, or we can do it and go on by our bit, I'm not doing any of that. For me, I don't allow anyone access that's going to disturb it. So today, try this for yourself because I know that you're looking for a solution. Yashika, how do I do something different because I want peace in my life. And it seems like it's always some crap going on. Trust me, I hear people. I hear people say it seems like there's always something. I hear the C word. I hear people say they feel like they're cursed or they feel like they're this, they feel like they're that. We're going to rebuke that. We are going to rebuke that. For those of you who are out there who are watching now that think that or who have said that, we're going to rebuke that. But for now, I want you to think about this in terms of your peace. Do a peace audit. I need you to list 5 things that's stealing your peace. 5 things. Think of 5 things that's stealing your peace. Next to each one of them, I need you to write these 3 things. You're going to either release it, reframe it, or reinforce your boundaries. Okay? Release it, reframe it, or reinforce your boundaries around it. Think about those 5 things, the things that are stealing your peace the most. This is how you conquer those things, okay? Because your peace is your power. It's not optional, it's your foundation, okay? Peace is non negotiable. So, 5 things: release it, reframe it, or reinforce it. Everything you want, whether it's clarity, creativity, confidence, grows in peace because you're able to water what you can see, right? What you know. Because like I said, remember that scenario I gave you before when we would be in a desert and we would have sandstorms? You can't see anything. Listen, you couldn't even see your hand in front of your face. You literally could not see your hand in front of your face. So if you're walking around, that's how peace. This is how chaos is to you. It's like that sand in front of your face. You can't see nothing. You can't see the forest for the trees because of all this chaos. The doggone trees being the chaos. So you can't see this beautiful forest. You can't see what's out there because you got all this going on. You got to be able to. You got to get rid of it because you got to be able to grow in peace. That's where your creativity, your clarity, and your confidence reside. When you start choosing peace, people will call you selfish. Don't worry about that. Let them. Okay. People will say you've changed. Okay. You have. Because you don't want the BS no more. You ain't for the BS. All that BS cause wrinkles in your face, gray hairs, the whole 9 yards. And people will try to guilt you. All right. But you need to stand firm in what you believe. I choose peace over everything. Self actualization is not about keeping the peace at your own expense, it's about becoming the peace. Okay, you are the peace. When you're around, listen, it's like you just walk around. Listen, my folks tell me I walk around picking daisies and daffodils all day long, and I don't even realize it. I be in my own little world. You hear me? I be like, oh, did that just happen? Like I didn't even know that happened. Because why I'm like this, I don't have time because other people, listen, I I already know I'm an empath. I already know I try to solve everybody else's problems. I already know I take on everybody else's stuff. So why am I going to keep on? No, no, no. So when you got to change, because I know that I've changed over these last few years in terms of this part of me, especially since I've been retired, I've been called selfish. Okay. And I've been told that I've changed. And people say, well, if you this, if you that, I can love you. I do love you. Matter of fact, I love you a whole bunch, but I love me more. And it's just that simple. I love you a whole bunch. Words cannot describe how much I love you, but I love me more. And that right there, all right? So, as a reminder for this day right here, whatever you're doing at all, if it's going to cost you your peace, then it is too expensive. Don't do it. I don't care what it is, a relationship, a job, a situationship, a friendship. Listen, I don't care what it is. If it's going to cost you your peace, then don't do it. Okay. So, as a reminder, your nervous system deserves safety too. Stop normalizing stress. Stop justifying chaos. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. So today, go ahead and think about everything that I've said in this live, right? Today is the day that you're choosing peace. Okay. Today is the day. Like I said, go back, think of those 5 things, right? You're either going to look at it and say, okay, what do I do with what do I do with these 5 things that's right here that I'm thinking about that's causing me my peace? I'm either going to release it, reframe it, or reinforce my boundaries around it. Because what I'm not going to do is keep on letting it cost me my peace because it's too expensive. And so, listen, this is day 25 of getting to self actualizations. And we only have 3 more days to go in this series. And I mean, this series have been amazing. But if you know for sure you are looking for a self actualization coach or a life strategist, then go ahead and book yourself a 15-minute consultation. Trust me when I tell you, I tell everybody this, so don't take it personal because I know me. I know what type of coach I am because I don't just have my education, right? I have my experience and I have that intuition that leads me, right? The intuition that leads me, that tells me that, listen, the ancestors want you to know this, the ancestors want you to know that. Okay, because I believe that. I really do believe that. So when I coach people and counsel people, I counsel and coach from all those three spaces because I know that everything that a person goes through cannot be found necessarily in DSM-5. A DSM-5, like I remember one person that was simply heartbroken. There's nothing in the DSM-5 that says heartbroken is an illness, but darn it, it feels like an illness. It feels like a sickness. It feels like it's taking over your whole world when you are heartbroken. But sometimes people just need to know what it is. They got to hear it. They got to know and say, "Hey, I get it. I understand. But this is what we gonna do." So that's what type of coaching and counseling I provide. Okay. So trust me when I tell you, when you book that 15-minute consultation, and trust me, and it's absolutely free, no obligation consultation. You're gonna want to work with me because you're gonna say, you know what? I did not know I needed sunshine and glitter in my life like this every day. Yashika, I did not know. I did not know I needed sunshine and glitter in my life like this every day. So go ahead, book that consultation. All right. And I'll see you guys on the next slide. Bye.